After a day of painting fences and watching Scotland get cheated, it's back to Rangers where it matters because guess what? We still haven't appointed a manager. I am glued to Sky Bet. I am glued to the odds for this next manager chase. And the next permanent manager doesn't look like it's changing much because Philip Clement, Big Phil, some guy commented to just call him Big Phil. And you know what? I'm going to call him Big Phil. So Big Phil and Kevin Muscat, they are by far and away the two favourites. You can rule everyone out. Big John, I've seen Bajileka, 14 to 1 there. His name's been thrown in the hat, so to speak, but I think he is not going to happen. Stephen Davis 20 to 1 and McKinn's 25 to 1. It just seems to be getting, you know, like worse for Davis. He started like 8 to 1, 12 to 1, 14 to 1. Now he's at 20 to 1. It was never going to be him, if we're being honest about it. So that's not a surprise in the slightest. But I just want this sorted. I just want this over the line. I really, really do. And it doesn't really look like it's going to be happening anytime soon. I really expected it to be wrapped up, but I'm going to read a few of your comments on the last. Felipe Clement, Big Phil Mitchell's vid. Tom Fatini says, I'm absolutely gutted. My money was on Donald Duck getting the iBox job. Still, never mind. This guy will go like all the rest. Maybe Donald Duck is still in this shite yet. Hail, hail, Celtic fan. John Maybury says, this guy doesn't last long in any job he gets. Paul Le Guen, another Paul Le Guen if you ask me, that was bad. Better with a Scottish manager that knows the Scottish game. A lot of people have that opinion. A lot of people aren't. For me, like, I just want somebody that's going to win and take the league off Celtic. I don't care by what means if we play awful football or good football. I don't care. It's a trophies-based business. I want trophies. I want leagues. I want it to be the best team in Scotland, not fucking second place like we've been for far too long. And whoever's going to have the best case for that, Rangers better fucking employ them. That's all I'm going to say. WM Stuff says, being sacked from Monaco kind of concerns me a wee bit, but other than that, his record looks decent. Still, I'm no sure, though. Yeah, like, the three leagues on a bounce in Belgium's quite good. I don't think anybody's really denying that, but it is the getting sacked from Monaco part. But that's the thing. Like, if he didn't get sacked from Monaco, that probably wouldn't have, like, weakened the stock, so to speak, and therefore he probably wouldn't be looking at us. He'd probably be looking at like a Premier League team. We're winning three leagues on the bounce, but obviously that's kind of we have to just accept these days. Pato says last 3 days, Muscat, John, Clement have had been odds on last 3 days. Clement's nothing to do with Rangers other than being a new Paul Le Guen. So a lot of people not really fancying that. Big User says that was years ago, and why didn't it work out for him? He did well at Leon. Too young to know. I mean, it was around what? It was the 06-07 season. He brought in quite a lot of loanies and a bunch of French players that either were shite or got injured. And then it seems like every other player that left Rangers, like in January or the next window, they went on to be alright or back to what they were doing. It was just a disaster spell then. I mean, I was only like, what, 7? So I don't really remember it well, but I know my history, folks. You need to know your history. And yeah, but Sky Seafood says Clement all day long. And then Stuart Penman says, I would have had Clement as director of football and Muscat as head coach. Aldo says too much money, and that's what it is. It's never, ever going to work like that. As much as you'd like two guys, like good guys at the head of the club like that, it's just never going to work like that, sadly. For us, with the amount of money at stake. But what's going to happen, guys? We're sitting here on Friday the 13th, and the more this goes on, the more I'm worried. You want a new manager in by the next game. I'm sorry, you do. You want a manager in on Monday here, and then that gives them a week to build up to the next game, which I believe is against Hibs. So sort yourself out, Rangers. Get the manager in, and we'll be laughing. We'll be dancing. We'll be doing whatever. Well, I mean, I say we'll be laughing. I mean, if the appointment's pish, maybe will be laughing, but at the end of the day, hopefully it's no bad. Hopefully it's good, and hopefully we can get the job done. And I just pray. Honestly, I don't care who it is. I don't care what the style of football is. I don't think anyone else should really, if we're being honest. I think the problem is under Gio and Bale, the football has been shit, and also the results have been shit. So, but I mean, let's not kid ourselves. I think Gerrard's style of play was obviously better than those two, but we still had really poor days in the league. I remember getting beat 1-0 by Hamilton before COVID lockdown. But then on the flip side, you've got mega games against Royal Antwerp and like Braga and teams like that who at home, whether it was in a closed stadium or not, or away even in Antwerp, we were ripping them to shreds. Some great team goals, and it's like, where have they been? They've been absent for a while. They really have been. But anyway, let's get a manager in. Let's sort this situation out. And until next time, peace.